Hey, what's up? Long time no see. How's it going? We saw each other. I lived in a completely different part of the country, doing a completely different job. And yeah, things are finally starting to settle a little bit, if you can tell from my background slowly but surely becoming what it once was. Thank you for joining my channel. My name's Liana Ruppert. I am a community manager over at Bungie on Destiny 2, but this channel is completely separate than all things Destiny and my job. I will not be talking about my job anymore. I will not be talking about Destiny anymore, unfortunately, because I don't want people to twist my words. But that doesn't mean there's not other cool shit to talk about, so let's talk about Halo, shall we? Yeah, the weird faces didn't go away. Can't get rid of me yet. Let's do the thing. Anyways, so Paramount Plus just recently came out with the first episode of the new Halo show that features Porn Stash from Orange is the New Black. And a lot of people already know I'm a huge, massive Halo fan. Halo got me through deployments. It was a friendship builder for some of the closest relationships I have in my life. I've always low-key wanted to be Master Chief, and yeah, to say I have always been massively obsessed would be a massive understatement. So I kind of wanted to weigh in on something, really not even because I think my voice is important, but just because I wanted an excuse to talk about Halo, so here we are. But I noticed a lot of backlash and, let's see, kind of almost anger towards the show's decision to remove Master Chief's helmet in the first episode. I'm not going to go too much into spoilers, and at this point, they've already mentioned they were going to take off his helmet months before the show premiered, so that in itself is not really a spoiler. If you feel like it was spoiled, I apologize, but it is all over the internet right now, so I kind of a little bit catch-22 there, but anyways. And yeah, a lot of people have been messaging me just knowing my love of Halo and why, like, what do I think about it? Did I think that the removal of the helmet was significant? Do I feel like it was a bad move? Do I feel like it alienates too much of the player base? Nay. But let's go into it. I'm also very tired. I've had like 4 cups of coffee, 5th, and so I'm like, my body is really tired, but my brain is wired, but also still tired. So if this video is not quite up to par of last ones, sorry, man. But anyways, so for me, I'm just going to go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off and say I actually really enjoyed that they took off his helmet. I think Pablo is who's the actor that plays Master Chief, did a fantastic job with the voicing, bringing that subtle humanity to the expression in his eyes when he is demasked. And I think honestly I was really torn when they first announced who was going to be him, because I loved Orange is the New Black and I legit cannot see him in any other role outside of Porn Stash. So I was like, how is Porn Stash, like, am I going to be able to delete Porn Stash from my memory and see this guy and this iconic character that I've loved for a major portion of my life? And yeah, you know, I gotta say, I'm feeling it, man. And I love the fact that, and this is another point that I've seen people kind of not really digging into, but I'm not digging into, but digging in general, is some of the CGI is really cheese-tastic. And let's be honest, the little grunts, they're cheesy. They are cheesy in the games. They sound like cracked out Murlocs from World of Warcraft. There's no real good way to translate that into live action. That's gonna be something that our live action instilled brains can comprehend on a normal level. So it's always gonna have, to me, and this is a big reason why I've written about in the past of how I don't want a Mass Effect movie. If they're gonna do something, I'd rather it be a show, which is happening. But there's that weird part of translation of what exactly gets translated over and what is entitled to creative license, because sometimes that translation doesn't go smoothly into live action, which is why most fans would typically like some kind of adaptation to be in an anime type style. we saw with Castlevania was done incredibly well. Arcane was done incredibly well. That seems to be the avenue that people like to see their favorite characters come alive, because there is less of a degree of separation between cartoon and video games versus live action and digital fantasy. So I can understand how that could kind of be jarring for some, but one of the things that I've always loved about Halo is it's hardcore and cheese-tastic at the same time. It always maintains that double-edged sword of being too cheesy and just rad as hell. And I feel like the TV show in the first episode did a really good job of doing that. You know, the elites, they look scary, but they also don't look real. They're not really supposed to. Seeing the grenade shut out, seeing him whip it out and like one shot them in the head when an enemy's down. Like there's so many things that I could see in the game. And the whole fight sequence when he first breaks out onto the scene and he does that epic crash landing. Hi, cat. Hi, sweetheart. You're doing your best. You know, I'm here for it. That's Coltrane. Baby woo, in case you were wondering. But yeah, I feel like there's no real avoiding the cheese part of that aspect, but I feel like it was done in a real way. And when he did that first crash landing and started just pow-powing everybody around him, I could see that in the game. And when the HUD came up and it was all in first person, like that felt like a video game sequence, which is unpopular opinion alert. Probably one of the things I really enjoyed about the original Doom movie with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Is that a good movie? No. Did I enjoy it? Yes. Very important distinction. Just because you enjoy it doesn't make it good. Just because you don't enjoy it doesn't make it bad. However, they're not mutually exclusive. You can like something and recognize that, okay, this is weird or could have done better. I'm not going to flash back to another Dragon Age 2 talk because we already have several videos on that, but that's kind of the same point. So I liked it. And one thing that was really shocking to me was in The Mandalorian, how much I was very invested in Master Chief, him taking his helmet off for Baby Yoda. And no, we're not going to call him Grogu because that sounds like yogurt. Oh, she's doing the cute headbutts. I love it. Oh, please. Hi. I love you. But yeah, and I it was such a small moment didn't even last very long, of him taking off his helmet and that being like but that goes against the code. But it was such a monumental moment. And I really liked the setup with Master Chief doing the same, because it was kind of the same premise of these renegade type characters suddenly finding themselves almost in a paternal role, which I feel like they are very much setting up with the human character in this game. You are really cute. Hi, I'm doing a video. Oh God, guys, she's so cute. I want to love her forever. But and I feel like, it was very obvious. You've got the whole setup between the UNSC, the rebels, and then you have just everything was introduced in a way that I feel like even non-Halo fans can understand. And I think that was really important because, yes, this is obviously for Halo fans, but they're also taking creative license so it can appeal to a wider audience. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because if people do dig this and they've maybe never played the Halo games, maybe this might inspire them. I can say this after watching episode 1, I immediately went to go play Halo Infinite because there's a symmetry there of this kind of being an origins tale and the Halo Infinite being an ending of sorts for the character. And one thing I don't really understand, the violent hate. Like, I can understand the critique, but there's some people that are getting violently angry over this, and that doesn't really make sense to me, because they've been pretty clear from the start that this was going to veer away from the games and the books. There was a little bit of misquoting happening, which, it happens, of them never looking at the game. That's not true. And even the actor himself has said that he always thought that if there was a Halo show, because this isn't the first attempt, this isn't even the first Halo show, But he always said that if Master Chief was the center of another Halo show, that it would only make sense for him to remove the helmet. And I do agree with that because it provides a barrier of separation where there's enough connection to the games that we love through things like the HUD and the sound of the overshield going down and back up, which is exactly the sound we know from the games. There's enough connection there in connection with his voice and the way the armor looks and his communication with his team, with the Silver Team. Like, it's just, there's so many wonderful connections that ring very true to the games that the helmet coming off was necessary, because this also was a significant moment of this is differing from the games. And an important part of notation of that is because in the books, he actually does take off his helmet. I mean, there's scenes in the books where he legit is just hanging out and vibing without his helmet. So that provided a degree of separation in the books, because even though he was dehelmetized, I don't know if that's the way to say it, but here we are, you can't see it because it's in book form. So there's the kind of the jarring aspect here, because in this aspect, this is a TV show. They made a point to humanize him to this girl that doesn't trust him, and rightfully so doesn't trust him. So he's trying to show her, like, I'm human. I'm connecting with you. And I feel like for the bond they're trying to convey between those two characters, I feel like it was important. Just my 2 cents. Totally understand if not everybody agrees with me. That's totes cool. We're all different human beings with different opinions and perspectives on life. I could look at something and say it's blue. You could look at it and say it's purple. Let's just get weird sometimes. It's not that serious. If you see people that hate it, okay. You see people that love it, okay. No need to fight about it. It's all gravy gravy. But I'm personally really enjoying. I'm invested in learning more, because I went into the first episode with zero expectations, and I think that's why I'm happier in a lot of instances with games and movies and stuff, is because I just learned, just go in with zero expectations. If you hype your own expectations into it without seeing all the behind the scenes work that went into it, you're only setting yourself up for disappointment. So I had no expectations. I was very pleasantly surprised. So now that impression that I have from the premiere is going to carry over into the second episode, and I'm interested to see how that colorization, where there is a little bit of anticipation and expectation. I don't know if my mic's going to pick that up, but there's a garbage truck driving by. We also moved from our house to an apartment. I haven't lived in an apartment in a very long time. It's an adjustment period. I'm also very sad I sold my house because the market is crashing again and everything sucks. Anyways, I think this is good. I feel like episode 2 is kind of going to be a make or break moment for me, because I just don't really have a lot of time to tank into TV shows. There's a lot of TV shows I'm still behind on. And now that I have that sliver of expectation, is that going to push it to a more critical eye? I was being pretty critical of it, even though I don't have to be anymore because I'm not in games media. But I don't know. I feel like I feel a perception shift a little bit, and I'm intrigued even, in seeing how that impacts my feelings going forward. Because it's only one episode. You know, there are some of the most amazing episodes or amazing shows out there in the world that had the shittiest beginnings, and then there's some that came out of the gate strong and then just fizzled out. So where this lands, I don't know, but I'm interested. At the end of the day, guys, I'm just a huge Halo fan. I've read the books. I love the fan art. I've read the fan fiction. I've played the games. I just want more Halo. And so far, it feels like Halo. And at the end of the day, that's all I want. It doesn't have to be perfection. I just want it to feel like Halo. And at this point in time, that's what it feels like. So I'm interested in seeing what you guys think, or if you've even watched it, because I know Paramount Plus is not something that everybody necessarily has, but I'm interested. I don't know why I said it like that. And what you guys think. What do you guys feel about the helmet removal? Do you feel like everybody's that's like kind of going hard on it needs to touch grass? Do you feel like the people that really seem to like it, like me, need to get a grip on reality? I don't care. Say it in the comments below. I will read it all. I I don't want to do the YouTuber thing, and I really don't have to anymore because I got demonetized because I went too long without posting. So like, subscribe, share, whatever if you want. If not, that's totally cool too. I just appreciate being here. And hopefully I'm going back to a normal, regular posting schedule, which I never really had, but at least I was pretty good about once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. So I'm hoping to get back to that. I just have to be a little bit more conscientious about what I'm talking about. And now my cat is, oh, she's humping Duratan, my Duratan statue. That's cute. Also my cue to go. So thank you guys so much for hanging out, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye!